Pickups are as American as apple pie, but not all of them were baked to perfection. Some trucks hit the road with designs that made you scratch your head, performance that felt like a bad day at the gym, and reliability that turned every drive into a gamble. These clunkers left drivers pulling their hair out and manufacturers scrambling for excuses. So, strap in as we dive into 10 American pickups that caught our attention for all the wrong reasons. Trucks that are better left gathering dust than making a comeback. Number 10. 1972 Ford Courier. The 1972 Ford Courier is one of those trucks that you won't forget for all the wrong reasons. A truck so weak you'd think it was kept together with duct tape and hope. Ford outsourced the build to Mazda to save money, resulting in a tiny truck with the strength of a tin can. The Courier's 72 horsepower engine was like a hamster on a wheel, just enough power to get you up a hill. And let's not even talk about the build quality, cheap materials, a structure that appeared to be designed for a toy rather than a truck, and terrifying handling. It was the type of car that made you feel every bump, creak, and rattle, and not in a sentimental manner. This wasn't just a few corners being cut. The entire vehicle was constructed with cut corners. Despite breaking apart, both figuratively and literally, the Courier managed to make it through the market. It's a prime illustration of how not to construct a pickup, demonstrating that cost-cutting does not always imply savvy business. Number 9. 1976 Cadillac Mirage. In 1976, Cadillac, famed for its luxury vehicles, decided to venture into pickup trucks. Enter the Cadillac Mirage, a hybrid between a station wagon and a truck. What was the result? Let's just say it didn't mirage its way to success. Imagine driving down the street in a Caddy and realizing you've got the world's most bewildered pickup truck on your hands. The Mirage attempted to combine Cadillac luxury with utility, but it was like putting caviar on a hot dog. It simply didn't fit. The vehicle's design had people scratching their heads. Was it a car claiming to be a truck, or a truck in denial about being a car? The performance was as terrible as the identity dilemma, with a huge frame that made carrying anything a joke. And let's not even talk about fuel economy. You could practically see the gas gauge plummet. Ultimately, the Mirage vanished as swiftly as it arose. A cautionary story of what happens when a luxury brand attempts to enter a market it does not comprehend. Number 8. 1976 Dodge Ram Charger. The 1976 Dodge Ram Charger, affectionately known as the Rhino in name only, is one of those oddball relics that demonstrates that even the Titans can make mistakes. Imagine going into a dealership all excited about a huge, tough truck, only to be offered an optional passenger seat. Yes, optional, as if they couldn't decide whether you needed someone riding shotgun. Perhaps Dodge was attempting to encourage solo travels, or simply did not want to commit to comfort. Who knows? While the moniker Ram Charger conjures up ideas of a ferocious beast ready to face anything, what you got was a vehicle that struggled to live up to its tough reputation. Power? Meh. Utility? Even the rhinoceros's horn appeared to be absent. This was a truck that looked the part, but like a superhero cape without superpowers, couldn't keep its promise. What's even more surprising is that this blunder came from a brand like Dodge. It's as if they wanted to dip their toes into the SUV market, but didn't want to fully commit. Instead, we have a historical anomaly that's more fun to laugh at than to drive. Number 7. 1978 Subaru Brat. The 1978 Subaru Brat is one of those automobiles that makes you wonder what the designers were thinking, or even what they were drinking. On paper, an automobile with a truck bed seemed like a fun and unusual concept. In reality, it turned out to be a half-baked, underpowered eccentric that baffled everyone. The Brat was Subaru's take on a pickup truck, but with the heart of a lawnmower and the body of something from a backyard garage sale. It came with rear-facing jump seats that resembled more of a carnival ride than a suitable seating option. Imagine attempting to persuade a friend to sit in the rear, facing backward, while bumping along a dirt road. The Brat had the off-road capability of a shopping cart, and its performance was barely adequate for hauling a bag of groceries, let alone anything larger. Finally, the Subaru Brat is a perfect example of a vehicle that attempted to be innovative but fell far short. It demonstrates that simply because you can combine a car and a truck does not mean you should. Number 6. 2005 Nissan Titan. The 2005 Nissan Titan had potential. It was large, had a high towing capacity, and appeared to be capable of handling anything. But here's the catch. It's the truck equivalent of that one friend who always brags but never delivers when it counts. Sure, it had some nice specs on paper, but how did it perform? It was beset by problems that left owners scratching their heads, or worse, stranded. First up is the infamous oil spill. The Titan became known for leaving spots on driveways all over the place. If you didn't know better, you'd assume it was marking its territory. And don't forget the problematic back axle. Talk about a ticking time bomb. The axle problems were so serious that safety became a legitimate concern for anyone bold enough to drive one. Nissan eventually got the Titan back on track in later years, but the damage had already been done. The 2005 model remains a black spot in Titan history, a vehicle with huge intentions that was overshadowed by a long series of recalls and dependability issues. Some things are best left in the past. Number 5. 1999 Chevy Silverado. The 1999 Chevrolet Silverado had all the appeal of a lawnmower with a bad attitude. Chevy, a company known for tough, dependable trucks, really stubbed its toe with this one. Under the hood sat a V8 engine that could have been fueled by disappointment and broken hopes. It was slow, unreliable, and felt like driving a sick horse rather than the powerful workhorse you'd expect from Chevy. It's as if Chevy looked at its legendary status and said, how can we mess this up just a little? The 99 Silverado's incessant stalling, inexplicable mechanical gremlins, and mediocre performance left drivers wondering whether they'd mistakenly acquired a Chevy in disguise. Fortunately, Chevy realized they'd made a huge mistake and rebounded in the following years, restoring the Silverado to its former grandeur. It's also a good thing. Otherwise, we'd be telling you a much sadder story. The Silverado's return was a relief for die-hard Chevy enthusiasts, who were left thinking, thank goodness, the nightmare is over. Number 4. Lincoln Blackwood. The Lincoln Blackwood is one of those vehicles that leaves you wondering, what were they thinking? Launched in 2002, it was Ford's effort to combine the luxury of a Lincoln with the usefulness of a pickup truck. On paper, it seemed like a good idea. Combine high-end features with a practical, powerful transport. However, it was a classic case of mismatched identities. Sure, the Blackwood featured a good 5.4-liter V8 engine and adequate towing capacity. But then they added items like a carpeted bed, limited storage space, and a design that looked more at home in a country club parking lot than on a construction site. The pickup was only available in glossy black, with a pinstripe designed to resemble wood grain. You could haul, if you didn't mind scratching your luxurious bed liner. Finally, it was the type of car no one had asked for. Lincoln banked on luxury truck purchasers, but in the end, individuals who needed trucks preferred sturdiness over cocktail lounge vibes. The Blackwood was discontinued after only 1 year, an uncomfortable blend of elegance and utility that never found an audience. Number 3. 2005 Toyota Tundra. The 2005 Toyota Tundra represents a low point in Toyota's reliability history. For a company that established its name on impregnable engineering, this model stands out like a sore thumb. Imagine driving a truck that's designed to last for years, only to sputter out way too soon. Who's the culprit? A notoriously unreliable 4.7-liter V8 engine that transformed owners' fantasies into nightmares. It wasn't only the engine, which was ticking down like a time bomb. The transmission was also not much better. Stories about gear slippage, missed shifts, and unexpected breakdowns were all too prevalent. Worse, although promising the endurance of its predecessors, this Tundra model provided headaches and repair expenditures. While Toyota vehicles typically inspire trust, the 2005 Tundra had drivers questioning every trip. wondering when the next pricey surprise would occur. This vehicle was a disappointment to anyone who expected a steady workhorse. In an otherwise successful lineup, the 2005 Tundra serves as a reminder that even titans like Toyota can stumble. Toyota most likely wishes it could undo this mistake. Number 2. 2001 Ford Explorer Sport Track. Ford's ambitious attempt to combine a pickup and an SUV was, well, a mixed bag. They expected adaptability, but what they got was a car that struggled to live up to its potential. The Sport Track had its fair share of mechanical issues. Radiator leakage and spark plug troubles were nearly assured. It was as if Ford attempted to make the Swiss Army knife of automobiles, but ended up with a cumbersome multi-tool that couldn't quite cut it. You'd expect a pickup to tackle tough jobs and an SUV to provide comfort, but the Sport Track failed to do either, leaving drivers scratching their heads and looking for something better. Number 1. Dodge Dude. The reason the Dodge Dude has been ignored for so long is complex. First, there's the name, which sounds too much like a joke and makes it difficult to be cool when you call your automobile Dude. Worse, it added unnecessary trim to the already excellent D100, including a tailgate and a hood for the bed. Thanks for taking this wild ride down memory lane with us. If you enjoyed the journey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for the latest updates. We got plenty more stories, surprises, and nostalgia coming your way, so stay tuned.